Should be live, and today I'm glad to say that I probably, fingers crossed, now that I'm saying this, I'm probably jinxing it, but I'm probably not gonna have audio issues because of these bad boys. So hopefully that's true. Although the video is still not as I wish it would be, so I'm gonna take a minute to try and fix it. Have here the remote to my thingy. Um, what's this? Don't know. This, I think, is the brightness. Yes, I think I should turn that down so I don't look ghostly. I think that's as low as it can go. AI tracking. Do we like it? Do we not? I don't know. Maybe fun. This is to hide myself. I don't want to do that. Default. No, the default makes me too bright. I like the darkness effect. And also, my office is pretty empty. I don't know if it makes echo, but is it still tracking me? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, it was. Let's keep it like this, and if I need to, I will tweak it later. Oh, wow, that's close. Let's see if this works. By the way, I've been collecting some of your guys' profiles that people have sent me, believe mostly on Instagram, if not all on Instagram. Um, that's just the best way to send those to me. So if you're watching this now and you want to still have your profile reviewed on the live, my Instagram should be in the description, but it's the same username as here on YouTube. So pretty straightforward. So yeah, let's get started. I believe the oldest one is the one in the bottom. So maybe I'll start there. I'm gonna open this up. I hate that Upwork is verifying everyone. Like, we're all robots now, but I guess that makes sense in a way. Okay, this is a fellow Portuguese guy, Fernando, and he does logos and branding design, which pretty cool. But I'm gonna roast his profile a little bit. I can tell already. Um, so first things first, uh, he's not verified. So Fernando, if you're watching this, verify yourself to add that extra credibility. Um, and also one thing I'm noticing is here, I'm gonna pull up my profile as always. I'm sorry, it's just good to use it as an example because it's complete. So here you can see there's the specialized profiles. Now, I'm actually going to go, I don't usually do this, but I never fully know the exact categories. I cannot memorize them all. So let me see. Oh, yeah, here. So you can actually create up to two specialized profiles, and I typically recommend to do at least one, but ideally two. That just took me to. Okay, yeah, maybe I could have done that from my main profile. I'm dumb. Anyway, uh, switch specialty. That's exactly it. This just keeps bobbing me around. So here, so he does logos and branding. Can I see the logo? There's one for logo design. So here's your first specialized profile and branding. Brand identity design or brand strategy. I would probably say brand identity is more the design side. But I would be sure to, first of all, you should complete your main profile and then use that, duplicate it, because when you create, I don't have an example here because I'm not going to turn off one of my profiles so I can show you. But when you go to create a specialized profile, it will give you the option to start from scratch, create a blank new profile, or to copy exactly what you have in your main one and duplicate that for the specialized ones. I do the second option. I copy exactly what's in my main profile, and then I tweak it so it's centered around that specific service, if that makes sense. Like, so my example, I do social media and video work. So you can see those are that mess. Those are the specialized profiles I have. I have social media and video. And I essentially duplicate it and then tweak what's in there. So, like the copy and the title and everything like that to fit that service. So, in my main profile, I speak generally about what I do, what motivates me, that kind of stuff. And then in the specialized ones, I go a bit more in depth into each of those services. That being said, starting off on your main profile, I can tell you, by the way, the profile picture I think is good. Just I like to start from the top and I ignore that. But logos and branding design, I don't think that's bad, but I would say probably I would put something like logo and branding for, and then insert the type of client you typically like to work with. So, logo and branding design for SaaS products or for, I don't know, dentists or whatever it is that you typically work with. Also, when it comes to your copy, and by the way, you seem to have much more experience than the $10 an hour. I understand if you're just starting out, which I think you are, having a lower rate, but I mean, I started at 5, so I'm no one to talk, but I would probably put at least 15 and then maybe bid lower than your profile rate if you want to get that first beta client. Um, just a thought, pricing is very personal thing, but since you're also from Portugal, I kind of have that little background. But yeah. So you say, I'm a graphic designer with several years experience in identity design and graphic design. I have a graduation. I think this should be, I have a degree, and I wouldn't shorten it to I've. I don't know if that's wrong per se, or if it just sounds weird to me. But I would say I have a degree in graphic design from the university. Um, Although I probably wouldn't say that, you can see it clearly here. And you can also clearly see that you're a graphic designer. So honestly, I would delete this and I would start with something more catchy. So here I have, let's make social media fun, shall we? And that's my specialized profile. On the video editing, I say, are you looking to create video content for your brand? So I like to start with a question or like some thought-provoking thing. Think about like the beginning of TikToks that makes you want to watch the rest. You want to catch their attention because much like TikToks, there's a lot to scroll through on Upwork when it comes to freelancers. There's a lot of us. And that's not to say that it's oversaturated. I don't believe in that. Um, because there's a lot of crap out there, unfortunately. But yeah, you do need to stand out from the crowd, and that's a good first step in my opinion. Also, I kind of want to change my profile picture. So allow me to deviate a little bit because I want to use this one. That previous one, by the way, was taken in 2019, so even pre-COVID. So that's crazy. Let's maybe zoom in a little bit more. I've been liking to use this one. It's probably also from 2020, 2021, but shows my office, which I'm moving in a couple of days, but I don't know, just gives more personality, I guess. But yeah, and for my main one, I have kind of a sneaky little thing. I say I'm not here for the ordinary, I'm here to help you make social media a blast. I'm sensing I've used some sort of AI on that part because I don't think that's something I would say myself, but doesn't sound too off. So maybe you can have some use of AI. And my favorite, by the way, side note, my favorite way to use AI is like I know ChatGPT probably has this. I mostly use Gemini and this other tool that I have that is a program on my computer. Um, I like to talk, like speak verbally to the AI because I feel like that way I just word vomit all my thoughts like as raw as they can be, and then I have it make sense of it for a specific purpose. So here, I would probably, if you do want to use AI, of course, um, I would just say everything you want to say, like, you know, everything you have here, which is not a lot. Um, but yeah, do mention your degree, do mention your years of experience, do mention everything, but then ask AI, okay, like now put yourself in the shoes of my ideal client. Obviously, do a little bit of research so you can know who that ideal client is as best as you can. Obviously, you don't need to know everything uh, from the start, but I would just dive deep into that and um, just ask it to cut off any fluff that they wouldn't care to see in your profile and keep whatever is. And by the way, I'm coming up with this on the fly, but thankfully it's being recorded because I think this is a good strategy and one that I should use when I change up my profile. But just ask AI to pull whatever makes sense for the client and delete anything that doesn't make sense. And ask it also, again, to start with the best part, start with the hook. If you tell it to start with a hook, it will understand, trust me. Um, but yeah, you also say I can provide a professional response to your projects through a creative and effective design, both on print and digital. Do my best. Da, 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 da. I One thing I love is the call to action. So this I would honestly keep. The rest I would elaborate a bit more and start with the key thing. If you want to give AI an example, you can give it my profile, or you can. I mean, I'm not saying mine is perfect or the best. So you can also, if you don't know, you can go here to the search and search for talent and say logo branding. Now, I know that's not a service, but just two keywords. And search for whatever's top, like top rated plus, highest hourly rate, say maybe freelancers, uh, job success, put 90 and up, earned amount, put 10K and up, which is quite low, but honestly, whatever. And just max all the the features. and then just have a look at some of these, maybe ask AI to review them or to like to find a common thread amongst them, and then have it tweak. And again, the key thing here is I'm not saying to ask AI to write the entire profile for you. I'm saying give it examples of the people that are succeeding in your industry, and then word vomit everything you think you want to say in your profile and have it edit what you told it to fit what you want it to do. If that makes sense. Um, but yeah, moving on from that because I spent too much time on that. Just one last thing. I think if possible, you would want to have a video. You could essentially, if you're not comfortable on camera and whatnot, um, you could like make some animated mock-ups. I know you have a lot of examples here of your work, which is great. So you can maybe do some sort of thing with that. Uh, on your skills, this is something I've said before, but I'm going to say it again for whoever hasn't been here before. Once you create the specialized profiles, one of the best things about them is on your main profile, you can only add, I believe, up to 15 skills. So here's mine. But if you see on my, let's say, social media marketing profile, you can add endless. And this may look a bit crazy, but honestly, most clients won't get this far. So just add all that. The benefit of that is whenever a client posts a job and is looking for freelancers, they will see like this freelancer matches 3 out of the 10 skills you mentioned in your job. And the most skills you have, the better rating you'll have, I guess you can say. You have employment history, you have other experiences. Also, another thing, I'm not sure if your profile counts as 100% complete. If you go to your homepage, your dashboard, whatever, you want this to be at 100 before you do anything, before you apply to any jobs or before you continue applying to jobs. You want to have 100% complete profile, and you do want to do all these tweaks that I just talked to you about before you move on, because even if you send the best proposals in the world, if you have a bad profile and the client clicks through to see more about you, you kind of that's the end of the the road there. So um, those are just some of my tips. Um, hey Ali, how are you? I was gonna ask you in Portuguese. I don't know. Maybe because I was seeing a Portuguese profile, but hey, what's up? All right. Next person we have that sent me their profile to review is Kim. Kim has done one job, so that's a good start. Honestly, it may seem very small, but honestly, if you've been there, you know that the first client is by far the hardest one to get. So props to you, Kim, for getting over that. And already from what I'm seeing, I like what I'm seeing from the preview of your profile. The title, though, could use some help. I'm pretty sure there's like, I would probably say thousands, if not tens of thousands, of profiles on Upwork with this exact same title. Like, graphic designer is a very, very popular and very broad skill or service to offer, and this just doesn't stand out. It's very descriptive and very keyword based, but I think you can do better. So at the very least, I would add the type of client that you prefer to work with, or that your ideal client. It doesn't need to be super specific, but you want to add some sort of differentiator. So if you are scrolling say through the tens of thousands of graphic designers on Upwork, you want them to have a reason to pick you and click through to see your profile versus all the others. Um, but yeah, I love how you lead with over 5 years experience. Experience is misspelled. This should be, oops, I cannot select it. It should be PER. Uh, my room seems upgraded. Actually, my room is downgraded. I'm moving next week, so this is pretty empty. But thanks anyway. um, but yeah, I think this is a good start. Uh, let me see here. You can probably add a second, if you do video editing, you can add a second specialized profile for video editing. That would be something that could get you a bit more advantages, I guess. And it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Um, Here, the design process, I like the thought behind it, but I feel like this should be, I love bullet points. But I feel like this should be a paragraph explaining your process, the process of working with you, because I know that's something clients value a lot. Sorry, I think my fan is blowing dust in my face. Um, but I think this is something that can be very valuable to clients, and it's one of those things that you probably want to be more specific about. You don't want to go on for too long, of course. Clients don't have the time for that, but you may want to be a bit more descriptive with it. And I would also add a call to action, of course, like we've seen in a previous profile, like message me about your project, your business, whatever. Just prompt them to reach out to you. Uh, what else? I want to see the graphic design one. Oh, it's the same, but has a different title. And is the price the same? Yeah. So, book and commercial design expert. I feel like this is better, probably, if this is your main focus. I wonder why that is not showcased in your main one, but something you can learn from, and it's a quick fix. Um, you definitely, like I said before, I would prefer if you go a bit more in depth about the design and specifically the book and commercial type of work that you do or can do. Sorry, there's some dust flying in the air that's getting in my throat. Haven't done stream for so long, so I don't remember. Yeah, I know. I'm actually probably gonna take a little bit of time off from YouTube, not fully, but I need to revamp my game plan. So, um, definitely in the new year, but probably before then, I plan to have more content going up. And also after I move, because that's going to be a whole ordeal. But yeah, I would definitely tweak these profiles a little bit. Um, got oh shit. Anyway, I hope you can still hear me. I think so. Okay, so you have one job in your work history. It's a pretty standard first job. I've done quite a few of those myself in my early days. You have a portfolio, which is a great start, and I love the colors, by the way. That's a bit of a personal thing. I know it's very subjective, but I love it. Love what I'm seeing. Let me click through it and see. You have a lot of examples, and here as well. One thing I would say, because I was gonna say you want to have at least three examples in your portfolio, and you do seem to have a lot under these just two examples. So honestly, and I know it's so much easier to do it like this, I've done it before, but it is worth it to take the extra time and share each one of these projects, or at least like group them. Like you have this one that's a long, seems like website page, you know, group these and then have these square ones separately and add a little bit more information about them just so it fills up more space and shows, because you seem to have, sorry, my glasses are a little bit foggy, but you do seem to have a lot of good examples, to be honest, and a lot of good experience. So it's a shame that you just have two here. It shows a little bit empty. And another thing that I'm noticing, the skills, you definitely want to add more here. You don't have the 15. You have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So you definitely want to add more. And looking at your specialized profile, you're doing great here. So definitely add a few more on your main profile just in case. You do have employment history. Again, I wonder if you're at 100% completeness. Again, I'm gonna, for whoever's just popping up right now, you can see it right here in the home page on the right hand side. You want to have 100%. I believe you may be there, not 100% sure. Oh, you also need to verify your identity. I believe, at least when I did it, they had, I'm thinking about it because I don't want to lie to you, but I think they had me probably upload a picture of my ID. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure I got on like it wasn't even 5 minutes. It was pretty quick. Just a quick video call with someone from their team just to verify that I'm the person in the photo or in my ID photo, whatever. Just so they have that little bit of quality control. So that can probably, just make clients much more at ease. So I would say definitely do that. It takes like probably 5 minutes, definitely under an hour, and it's worth it. Uh, so yeah, definitely seems like a website. I'm a developer. Shopify and WordPress, two things that I don't really fuck with, but if anyone's looking, Ali does websites. Um, I actually, I pretty much hate WordPress. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't fuck with that. Um, Next up, we have a Contra profile. We love Contra. I love Contra. Uh, Not sponsored. I don't have any affiliation with them, but these headphones were a giveaway that Contra just did last week, and I can't believe I won. But I love Contra. The thing I love most about Contra, because it's easy to say I love them, but just side note here, I love how they care about the freelancers. They seem to be taking everything that people are saying bad about Upwork and maybe other platforms, and they are learning from that and doing something that the freelancers want. So I just love that and respect that a lot. So honestly, it's not just the headphones. I love what they're doing, and I just hope that I can kind of reach the level that I did with Upwork with Contra as well, because it's great. I feel like I've seen this profile before. I don't know if it was like playing around on Contra or if it was on my socials, because clearly this person reached out to me on socials, I'm guessing, or maybe on. on Discord. I also collected some from Discord. I don't know. But starting off, um, by the way, you're saying I don't do freelancing anymore, starting with a t-shirt brand. That's very cool. Definitely, my God, I'm going to switch to Portuguese again. What's wrong with me? Typically, it's the other way around. I switched English when speaking Portuguese. But send me your website or whatever. I want to see that. But you're still managing old clients, understandably so. But what I was saying is, I love this little, you know, it's not a cover or a banner image, but it's like a featured image. I think it showcases a lot of different examples. This one's my favorite. Obviously, it's gaming related. This one too, but this has the pixel art. But I also really like this one. The website with the like under the fold, like goes in a wave. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool mock-up there. Uh, I'm not gonna try to pronounce your name because I'm pretty sure you're Oreo. Oreo, like the cookie. Uh, um, but you say helping businesses stand out with visually stunning designs, and I mean, this shows for it. You're definitely not lying. And you have Contra Pro, so you know the value of it. You're not like messing around. Okay, so you have your work here. You've been posting likely on the community page, which is awesome. I honestly, side note, I set myself up to do a 30-day challenge of each day I would share one piece of work that I've done. I completely failed that. I think we're like, what, 10 days in, and I shared three things. I don't know if I'm gonna continue doing it. I need to, but it's like embarrassing now that I failed so many days. Uh, but yeah, you're showing a lot of your work, which honestly, the individual pieces of work look great, but putting them all together in the way that you're doing like looks great as well. So I know right away you're a trust designer. I would trust myself. You have a lot of mock-ups, and I think this is great. My website is on local server. Oh yeah, I get it. So yeah, definitely send it over when it's live. I love to see it. What's like the theme of the t-shirts, by the way, if you can share. Um, so yeah, Oreo here is sharing some. Oh, I didn't know you could share. I think this is like a. Oh, it's embedded from. I'm gonna call it Twitter. I don't care. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. But yeah, I love what you're doing here. I'm gonna throw you a couple likes. I don't know if that helps with anything, but can't hurt. But I love the work you're doing, honestly. You have two reviews, which is a great start. You have two services, so eye-catching posters and email template designs, which honestly I think you have pretty great examples here. Let's go into one of these. Um, Contact for pricing. I don't know. I'm not 1,000% like I'm familiar with Contra. Obviously, I'm using it, but I don't know the entire thing as much as I do with Upwork. If you can have a starting price, that could be helpful, but I'm not sure that's possible. But if it is, I would probably add a starting price just to give people an idea, because if they have like $1,000 to spend and your work starts at 10,000, it would be pretty like I don't know, it would feel weird to reach out and be like, oh yeah, it's so far off from what I can do. Um, but yeah, just a thought. Um, So yeah, you're a skilled graphic designer. I don't know how I feel about this being in the person. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fine, but to me, it looks a little bit not weird. Weird is not the word. It's just a little bit different, I guess. That's the best word I can come up with. But I would personally write this in the first person, but to each their own. Color theory, I can totally see that. Proficient in Adobe, can collaborate with clients to create visually stunning designs. And this is another thing I love about Contra. Like, they don't gatekeep. They don't make you like, oh yeah, you cannot go outside the platform. Now, of course, you still want to be careful when going outside the platform because scammers and stuff like that, but they allow you to have like your literal email on your profile and your LinkedIn, your social profiles. That's when you know a platform is confident in themselves and the service they provide. So honestly, I love that. That's just one of the many things. Um, okay, so you say it will be embroidery, like design on chest or back, only on basic t-shirts. That's cool. That's cool. I love embroidered t-shirts. I think they definitely add a lot more because like t-shirts like this, it's already cracking a little bit. So, but I mean, I guess you get what you paid for. Oh, we can't let you in. Did this person send me a faulty link? Or I'm gonna need to see about that. But now I don't even know where they sent it. Oh shit. Uh, gonna circle back to that, but I'm gonna keep this open so I don't forget. Let's see this one. Hopefully it works. Okay, we have Mohammed in. Okay, I'm not gonna try to pronounce your second name. Um, but let's see. You're a Klaviyo email flow specialist, SMS and marketing automation expert. The best profile title I've seen all day. Um, Not what I typically do, but I'm not gonna shit on it. I think my way is not the only way to do things. One thing you see I'm hovering over here is you're not verified. Definitely a rush to do that because, like I said a million times before, that just adds a level of credibility and trust to the client, especially if your profile is new. You don't have any work history, so they want to have some sort of safety net that you're an actual real person. So definitely do that. Also, you probably know if you've watched the entire live what I'm gonna say next, or if you watched any of my previous videos, add to specialized profiles. I'm pretty sure you have enough for it. You have email and SMS marketing. I think you should have content there for two specialized profiles. So do that ASAP. Um, your profile, I'm gonna sound super picky here, but I don't care. Your profile starts with I'm. This kind of goes back to my marketing background. You want to focus what you're saying in your profile, in your proposals, in any of your marketing materials, which this honestly is a marketing material. You want to focus all of that in on the client. Um, put always put yourself in the client's shoes and try to go through your stuff, whatever it is, and read it as if you were the client. If you, I know this can be hard to do sometimes, so that's again gonna bring up AI. Another great use of it is tell the AI, hey, you are XYZ client, you are a CEO of a whatever company, read my profile and tell me what I can improve about it. Um, but I wouldn't start with the word I'm, because you're immediately kind of making it about you, which respect, like it's the it's our obvious thing. It's your profile. You want to write about yourself and how good you are, but that doesn't always translate as well for the client. So that's just something that you'll get used to over time. Um, so you say, I'm a dedicated email and SMS marketing specialist with proven experience helping e-commerce brands grow using Klaviyo and other marketing tools. Klaviyo, email, and SMS. Okay, so you have a fair paragraph, let's say here. Again, I would like to see some sort of hook to catch their attention before you start talking about yourself. And also, this part, they can tell that you're talking about yourself and that you're a Klaviyo specialist and stuff like that from your title, so you don't need to repeat yourself. Then this part kind of comes out of the blue. I'm guessing this is a list of services you offer, but in that case, you can, again, not trying to say mine is the only way, but just to give you an example of what I mean. And I don't have that example here. Awesome. Like, oh my God, I don't have an example for what I'm saying, but essentially, you want to preface this by saying, like, some of the services I offer are colon, and then have this as a list. I would probably delete the space and add some emojis as bullet points, or at least some dashes, just so people know this is a list and not just a bunch of random words strung together. And then you say, with every project, my goal is to deliver a data-driven, results-oriented marketing system that helps clients maximize ROI and scale their business. I think that's great. You also need a call to action, like I've said a million times before today. Um, but yeah, I think honestly that AI thing, I don't want you guys to fully use AI and have it run the show for you. But I think there's a lot we can learn from it, and we can have it help us to make our stuff better and faster. So definitely enlist the help of AI. Let me know if you need me to review your profile again. I'm happy to do that. You do have your skills listed here, which I believe there's 15 of them. Again, once you add your specialized profiles, you'll be able to add many, many more, and I encourage you to do that. Employment history, June to June. I'm not sure this is doing a lot for you, but at least it's filling up your profile in terms of the percentage. So at least there's that. I would like to see more here. I don't know what, because I don't know you. Obviously, a video in your profile would be great. And definitely a portfolio. I mean, what do you do? Emails and SMS. If you have any stats from previous clients or personal projects or whatever, if you have any numbers to show, design a graphic, whatever, and post that in your portfolio. If you've designed any email templates or anything like that, put that in your portfolio and put at least 3 things there. Um, And if possible, if you've worked with anyone else before, try to ask for testimonials. You can, if you scroll down a little bit here, you can ask for testimonials from people outside Upwork that you've worked with. So please do that. Again, it adds a lot of like extra levels of trust to the client. And also, I think this goes for you and all the other people I've talked about before in this live and every other one. Um, adding stuff to your project catalog, I think, is great. I haven't been getting as many leads as I once was from that, so I don't think Upwork is pushing it as much anymore. But at the very least, it fills up more of your profile. So right now, essentially, if I land on your profile, I see nothing. I see a bunch of text everywhere. Whereas if you land on my profile, you'll see a video, you'll see three different case studies, and if you move forward, you'll see actual work examples, and then you go down here and you see more images in the project catalog. So, it just has more visual variety and it's easier to skim. And that may seem a very like simple, but it does the difference. Um, so yeah, I think that's mostly what I have to share. Let's see the comments or the chat. I'm naming my store Loop by. Domain isn't available. Loop, hold on. Loop cost 500 plus. Oh shit. We'll think about the name. Yeah, I mean, I know what it feels like to be tied like into a name, but honestly, I probably wouldn't start a business buying a domain for 500. I think you can always do something else. Um, I mean, if you really had, an existing brand tied to that name, then it would make sense to create something for that. But yeah, I think at the very least you can like create some variations of the name, um, just so you don't have to spend that much. Because yeah, I mean, I know definitely in the domain kind of world, that's not the most expensive, but I wouldn't buy it myself. Unless it was like, I probably would have spent $500 to buy the domain with my name, which wasn't available when I first started freelancing, which was a bummer. And in a case like that, I would, because it's my name and I can't change it. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. But in the case that you can just brainstorm a new name, I would definitely go that route. I think 500 is not worth it. Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I would love to know what this profile was, but that's gonna I'm probably gonna leave that for after, just because I need to go through DMs and Discord messages and stuff like that, and I don't wanna put that on live. But yeah, if I find this person, I'll let them know and I will get the review to them one way or another. Um, but yeah, I mean, thanks for anyone who showed up for the live. I look so weird without glasses, I just noticed. Um, yeah, I'm gonna cut it short this time around. I'm probably going to be, like I said, a bit AFK for the next couple of days because, again, I'm moving and I'm also, zoom in. Um, and I'm also going to be taking a course on YouTube content and video stuff that will hopefully give me some more ideas. Um, Not that I have lack of ideas, I don't know, I have a lack of motivation, I guess, to create content for YouTube right now. So you may not hear a lot from me here, but I'll still be active likely on Instagram and stuff. Uh, so follow me there if you're not following me there, and I'll see you.